Hi, I'm David Fetter, Executive Editor Technical for Prepared Foods, and welcome to another exploration in the Prepared Foods series on technical trends in new product development. Today, we're taking a few minutes with Martin Pamensky. He's CEO and President of Stanmar International Group of Companies and CEO and founder of Simply Delish, makers of sugar-free, keto-certified desserts. So, Martin.
Well, David, thank you for having me today, and really look forward to our conversation and digging deep into what it takes to make a brand work and how to develop a new product.
There it is. Well, thank you for joining us. Now, your products intersect two of the hottest power trends in food product development today. We got plant-based, we've got sugar-free. So let's jump into the plant-based aspect first, since the mainstream versions of two of your key products, the pudding and the gelatin dessert, those typically use animal-derived ingredients, dairy for one, porcine or bovine gelatin for the other. So please take a minute, walk us through the ingredient challenges that you had in recreating these classic sweets without those important ingredients.
Well, I think the first thing is that we were way ahead. This plant-based trend we've had from day one with our product. We recognized from the beginning that having a gelatin-free product wouldn't give us a vegan customer. So we had to find an alternative for that. So we looked around the world, found the finest Carrageenan ingredient that was available with a unique blend. We also had to make sure that it was clean. And we then got the non-GMO to certify that product to make sure it met the key criteria. That was the first thing. And secondly, most people do not understand what gelatin is. And as you know, gelatin is made of everything else that you don't want to have in a product, because it's everything left over from an animal that has been derived. So we felt that we had to have a clean product. Ingredients would have to be the best. And then from there, we had to derive, how do we actually make it work? Because I know everybody says, well, we tried agar-agar, we tried all the various aspects of how to get a product to set. And this takes a lot of research and energies, and we partnered with one of the leaders in this field to come up with the ultimate product that could set correctly. And you have to set it with cold water, because if you set it with hot water, it will not set. Carrageenan needs to breathe. It needs to be part of that function where it actually lives. And then you add the hot water to make it set and go from there.
Wow. So is Carrageenan the only ingredient used to substitute for gelatin, or did you have to bring in ancillary ingredients to?
No, we were able to find a perfect Carrageenan with the correct blend to replace and set. So we have nothing else added to our product. That is the key thing. We just have basically the Carrageenan, your natural sweeteners, and your natural fruits, which are your flavors and your colors. And that's it. You know, we don't add any additional ingredients to the product.
Okay, so then let's talk about the sweeteners then that you chose over sucrose, because you know the sucrose is also it serves more than just sweetening. So
well, I think the key is who's your target audience. And if you're going to go to Whole Foods, Sprouts, and the natural arena, and that's where we've been. My whole journey's been in the natural food arena. And when we went to look at products that were around at the time, sucralose is a no-no. It's a chemically based ingredient, and we had to find the ultimate ingredient. And as the journey with stevia has happened, we've managed to partner with the leading stevia specialists in the world. And they, through their R&D, together with our R&D team, we had to work day and night really to come up with that ultimate sweetness that didn't linger, didn't get the aftertaste, and that could really emulate what sugar did. And this is the new generation of sweeteners that have come about. It was probably a good 9 months of R&D and getting to that ultimate product that worked for ours, because we've got nothing to hide. We don't have anything like a beverage to hide with a number of their fruit flavors and other things to hide in the product. We've just got the natural flavors and the colors and the product itself to set. So we had to have an ultimate product, and that takes a lot of work and obviously a lot of trials. Probably hundreds of trials of testing and tasting and working with our suppliers.
So, well, then once you settled on these key ingredients, did you encounter, I mean, you said you go through all the trials. Did you encounter any specific technical challenges in getting
Yeah,
them to
so
work the way
again,
you wanted?
I found you have to find the best in the business, and we found an incredible R&D guy who just had worked 20 years in the industry with Hain Celestial, who was just like the specialist in this area. And we together, he is the technical director, and what we do is I give him direction, we work together, but at the end of the day, we have to approve the product. But he is the guy that really works with us to make sure that the products work in the right way chemically, as well as meet all the requirements from an FDA, from a requirement our product has certified keto, non-GMO, gluten-free, and we had to make sure all part of those aspects had to be put into place before you can take on a product.
Okay, now, so since we're segueing into the sweetener side, you mentioned that your final call on that was to go with stevia. Did you need to add any bulking agents or anything like that? I don't know if you would with the
No, I
gelatin,
think
but with
that
the pudding,
I know,
that might
but
be.
I think one of the key things is there's this new stevia M that has come to the market. It's a $240 plus ingredient, and with that's yes, you're talking gold. It is unbelievable. And this particular ingredient that is put to bed does not need any fillers. It does not need anything to add to the product itself. And because it's got this soft taste all the way through, you don't have to hide anything in the product itself. Also, one of the things a lot of people do is use monk fruit and many other things. But one of the problems, if you are going international with your product, monk fruit as a flavor is okay, but as a sweetener is not authorized in many countries. So if we want to go international, we couldn't use monk fruit as an example together with our stevia to give us the ultimate product, because it wouldn't work. And we did try it, and we came back to the realization that the stevia M was the ultimate product for us.
Gotcha. And I'm guessing that for a gelatin dessert, you wouldn't need any bulking because you're talking mostly, clear
No,
liquid flavor and sweetener. And so jumping then to that pudding, because pudding is a whole different animal or non-animal. So what difficulties did you have, in creating this non-dairy analog of pudding? And especially where it comes to, the sweetener, because that does work. Sucrose does work somewhat as a bulker in something like a pudding, does it not?
no. So in our particular case, very different. What we've looked at is we first of all had to find the right starch. Now, as you know, natural starches have become, it's like at a whole new level today, but there is a tremendous shortage of what is out there at the moment. So we've had to go and work with 2 or 3 major players, and based on their abilities to supply a product, we've been able to take their technical team to go there to find that ultimate natural starch, because the starch is where you start from. Then you've got to actually, from the starch itself, you then have to say to yourself, what else do I need? I need a natural flavor to actually go with the product to give it that next best feel. And then again, from the natural flavor, you then have to have the sweetener to actually give you the product that you have to get to where you need to go to. And then we had to find out, instead of using a lecithin, which is a soy lecithin, which was to give it that texture and makeup, we had customers come to us, now it's an allergen. So what we had to do is, how do we avoid it? So we got a sunflower lecithin to replace that. And as you know, we're in challenges at the moment because a lot of the sunflower lecithin around the world is coming from, coming from Ukraine and other parts of the world. So it's jumped from a $15 to a $45 per kilo. So, these are the challenges that you're finding in the business. And then the other sweetener, which I have not alluded to, which is what you call your bulkner of sweeteners as well, is erythritol. Erythritol is the other part of the puzzle. And then again, that was challenges. So when we first started, you cannot get erythritol for love or money because it's a short supply. And so we had to find unique suppliers who were willing to work with us and build our business with us. And that's what we've done. So those are the key elements of finding a clean product that is recognized. And you have to go to the retailer. What is the retailer want? What is the consumer looking for to make your claims? in order for you to be able. So every ingredient you look at, you have to say, can I make this claim? Is it allowable by the various organizers? And can you get it certified as kosher, halal? And can you make that product a claim of natural in your product as well?
Got it. Now on the sunflower lecithin, I've heard about the short supply, but have you looked toward North Dakota? They're one of the leading producers of sunflowers in the U.S. And
there is nothing you can. It's like gold. You cannot get. It's like nobody has it. When you want it, a liquid format is available. So in liquid format, it's a lot readily available. It's in the powdered format. And our product is a powdered format. So we have a problem. In our ready-to-eat product, we've got no issues because that's in a liquid format. It's in the powdered format that there's a shortage at the moment.
Okay, so I wanted to jump back to sweeteners a little bit because I know that when you're using a sweetener such as sucrose, it's got its unique hygroscopicity that you need to get the gelatin to set properly to not weep, maintain shape and texture. Now, did you say that you did go with
that? Has no bearing on our product at all. No? The sweetener has nothing. It's the carrageenan and its foundation that actually gets you to do the setting. It has nothing to do with the sweetener. The sweetener is just as an adder. So why I say that, we have a product which we just launched, which is a unflavored gelatin. Okay, so that has no sweetener in it. So we originally launched it with a sweetener. We found that everybody was on our back, guys. You got to have an unflavored, because we want to add our own product to it. So we have launched that in Whole Foods nationally, in all their stores, as well as in Sprouts, unflavored. And people are using that as a base to be able to add fruit and their own flavors and everything to it. And they're using this as and also when they're baking and doing other things with it as well.
Okay, got it. Now, have you reached out to any ingredient companies for technical expertise or other input in developing your dessert products?
If you don't, you're crazy not to. Every part of the journey is we get hold of their leading team. They then coordinate their team together with our R&D team. They then have the technical. They then send us samples of all the various ingredients they've got in their deck. We then prepare samples internally, and they prepare, and then we finally come up with what we think could be the right product. And then we start looking at what is the ultimate product and what do we still need to do to make it a better product.
Right. So is there something you'd like to see ingredient companies do more of or to do better to help you with future product development?
Well, I must say that I've been absolutely amazed by, especially in that we are still a small fish in a big sea, how these companies are willing to come to the party and really look, because they are looking for this next best opportunity, and they're willing to work with companies of our size to be able to help offer us development and work and play. And I think that it's actually been astounding as to see how their R&D teams are putting such an effort into this new age, you call it sweetener, which is like the next level. People are not willing to pay the price, because a normal stevia is $20 a kilo. You add your other flavors to or blockers to put it into play. You're able to hide it with other flavors, and a lot of people are able to get away with a cheaper stevia. But for us, I would say 50% of the cost of our goods are sweeteners, and we wouldn't be. And that's why when people want to compare us to anything out there, we say, guys, it all comes down to, do you want a quality ingredient that's natural, that can deliver results without adding anything to prevent, to add something that is not natural?
Maskers, blockers, enhancers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
100%.
So,
and that's typically 90% of the business is, how do we find ways to block things? How do we find ways to process things? We're trying to find a natural product that the consumer, and one of the other things is, we're the only product that's able to then find, when we are looking at our product, how does our product work with plant-based milks and plant-based ingredients? Because if somebody wants to have an allergen-free product, they've got to be able to use a coconut cream or coconut-based product. If they're going to want to use oat milk, they can use oat milk. If they want to use soy milk or any of the plant-based, they've got to set, and our product sets with that. And that was also one of the challenges, to find the right mix of ingredients that allow you to set at a particular rate. So we found with milk, it would set 2 cups to 48 grams or to a sachet. In when you start working with other milks, which are plant-based, you have to use a lot less because it doesn't have all the fats and all the other things in it to hold it together. So you have to use less of the product. So we use 1.5 cups when it comes to the 1.25 cups to get the ultimate results.
Got it. Yeah, and speaking of on the pudding, are you at liberty to say which starches you settled on, or do you keep that proprietary?
Yeah, it is. It's I think it is proprietary because a lot of the starches and a lot of the manufacturers work with have got such an array, and it's choosing that ultimate product that fits into our profile that makes us unique. It's not just the starch, because anybody can get a natural starch. It's finding that unique starch that actually works for our product. And we've seen this with our ready to eat program that we started. We thought we had the most phenomenal product for Costco. And then suddenly we went on our next trial run and we changed the starch, and suddenly we had, wow, this product now can be eaten by a kid, by an adult, by anybody. And it was just by that journey of trial and manufacture, because what you make in a lab is completely different from what the ultimate product is when you do a trial and a production run.
Oh, for sure. Especially with scale up involved, that makes such a huge
100%.
difference. So, all right. What can we look forward to from Simply Delish in the coming year? What's coming down the pipeline that you can tell us about?
Well, we have developed the first keto frosting that's available, 4 ingredients, shelf stable, and that's going to really hit them all. One of the key things facing for us is finding the right manufacturer, which we have found, but he's got to get the right equipment and allow us to be able to produce the product. So we're seeing that towards the 3rd quarter, or actually more the 4th quarter of this year, that we're going to be able to ultimately launch the product. And that'll be available both food service and regular, but it is a one-of-a-kind product. And then we are launching in the next few weeks our protein, a vegan protein product that we're going to be launching to market, because we've found a lot of our customers who are athletes and other sports who are using our product because it is a great base for them. They're adding their own proteins and they want to have a protein on the go. And a lot of them are finding a difficulty to find a protein that is clean and easy to use in a beverage or other product. It's great to use as a shaker and to have, but not to add to an ingredient. So now if somebody wants to add 10 grams of protein, they just add 1 sachet. If they want to add 2, they'll add 2 sachets. And we're launching in a sachet format, not in a tub, because that way they can do it, which is very, very different. So it's in the same format as our current products, but it will be in a sachet format.
Wow. Okay. So you're keeping busy. You got things coming out. That's wonderful. Wonderful. It's a really challenging area to be in, but it looks like you're just, making some great strides.
I think, David, the inspiration doesn't come from us, but believe it or not, we have 600 influencers that create. If you go to our Instagram page and you see what they create, they're the ones that come up with these amazing things that you can do with our product. And from their enlightenment and from what they're doing, we learn from them. And then we say, okay, this is what's trending. This is what the market's calling for. And then based on what is the market and what we think could work for our consumer base, we then develop products to fit that, because we see that it's being used. It may not be the ultimate way it's being used now, but we just take that idea and then create the product to fit that need.
Oh, that's good. You're tapping right into the people who want and use your product, and you can skip all the middlemen. Very impressive. I love what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I think you're just a great example of, how to take these trends, run with them, and make them a success. Thank you so much, Martin, for allowing us to get the comprehensive look into how you developed just great variations on classic desserts. I also want to thank our audience members for joining us. I hope you found this insider view as fun and informative as I did. Don't forget to check out our media menu at preparedfoods.com, and you'll find other product trends and insights and many more videos, podcasts, articles, resources of value for today's food and beverage makers, just like Martin. So,
and from our side, just to let you know, is that we have hundreds of recipes available. All you have to do, go to www.simplydelish.net. And also you can just go to Prepare Foods 20 and you can get your discount to get your product as well. This will give you an opportunity to try the product and make your own unique recipes for yourself and prepare your own desired formulations, so you can get up something and maybe share something with me that would be unique and different to go forward in the future.
Wonderful. Again, thank you so much, and look forward to having you back. So, come join us when all your other products come out. Sound good?
Thank you, David, and really appreciate it, and we'll be in touch. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.